I've decided I no longer want to live in modern day society, and I want to dress and feel like I live in a cottage in the middle of the woods amongst pixies, and that's what I've decided, and that's what we're doing. Unfortunately, if you want some whimsical, non-boring, non-fast fashion manufactured in some sort of big warehouse somewhere clothing, you have to pay a pretty penny for it. And while I have my big ideas, my big dreams to live out in the middle of nowhere, I am still, modern day, poor. Actually, I guess I'd be medieval poor as well. While I would love to pay for these lavish garments, I just do not have the funds. My pockets, they're empty. But not empty enough to see if I can stuff around and make it myself. Do I have a plan? No. That's okay. Because here it is, I guess. So I do have a plan. I'm going to go to Spotlight and I'm going to see if I can find some fabric, hopefully in the discount center. And then I'm also just going to scrounge through their patterns to see if I can find something that'll give me a good enough base that I can be able to create this myself. The other issue is just that a lot of these tutorials are with Americans, and no hate to Americans, but I'm not converting every single measurement from inches. I don't have the time. Stop. Also, I got a new phone, which is amazing, but then I lost my proper tripod, so I had you balanced on top of my printer on top of a mouse box. Quality.
And here we see the crafter engaging in a large carrying capacity.
They got remnants. 50 centimeters. For $9.50. Who is buying that? So not exactly cheaper then. However, I did end up buying a bunch of stuff that I don't actually need for this project, but it's super useful to have, i.e. eyelet pliers. This was $20, but to buy the eyelets by themselves was $13 or something, so it's like an extra $7 there. Went on some pliers so I don't have to, use a hammer and smash in my desk. I also bought one of these curve flex, but like seamstress rulers. It is actually like... But I've been wanting one of these rulers for a long time, because if you do anything with sewing, you know that they're super, super helpful. And that was like $20. So if we go to the receipt for what I actually bought for this project, it's still not looking great. Now, I was torn between doing, which one? C and B and C, these two. But I think I'm gonna go for this one. Basically, I do want to do this sort of skirt thing, but I'll just make it longer to be the full overskirt. But I was thinking about doing these ties, but I think that might just be too much work, and I just don't know if I want to. Especially because this one has like a dip down, whereas this one's straight across the waist, and I just feel like that's gonna be easier for all of us, But anyway, I'm gonna go have some lunch, and I'm gonna mull this over. It's like 2:40 the next day. Let's just pull everything out and get the pattern cut. I'm actually really glad that I read the measurements for this, because according to this, I am a 16 to an 18. Great. I'm gonna go for the 16 though, because it's a corset and it ties up in the front. Having a bit of a gap doesn't matter, whereas if I make it my actual size and it's slightly too big, there's nothing I can do about it, so I can always cinch it in. I've been staring at this. What time did I say it was before? Whatever it is, it's 4:18 right now. Turns out, I searched up the pattern on YouTube. I found a tutorial from, like, Butterick itself. This shit's not as hard as it says. They just word it. I feel like sewing is like a secret society, And they don't want you to know their secrets, so they word it in their secret language. Like, what is basing? Turns out basing is just like putting in a stay stitch. What is a stay stitch? The same fucking thing. It's just temporarily tacking them together. But do they say basing in the instructions? No. But do they say, wait, let me rephrase that. Throughout the instructions, they tell you to base something, but then they've also got this little like key that says what all the terms are. Basting is not in there. Do you know what is in there? Stay stitch. Do they ever say stay stitch? No. But anyway, I found a tutorial. Hopefully now I can actually make something that you guys can understand, because this is bullshit. I'm boycotting the sewing community. What the hell? Beautiful. Okay, one day I'm meant to be in a camera angle change later. We are ready to actually sew something. All of my pattern pieces are cut out. I now have 3 different colors of green, but I guess let's just do it. Basically everything up until step 9 is sew each piece together on a corset side and a lining side. That's it.
Last but not least, all in the nations. They are some gold eyelets and some beautiful ribbon. Click.
So with this first piece, it's going to tell you to do some like easing stitches and things like that. I don't know what that is. And if you're also someone who wants to be a sewing enthusiast and it's like, I want to make stuff, but it's all just too damn difficult. Look at me. Think of me as your inspiration. This is what happens when you don't follow the instructions to the T. Will it work out? I don't know, but we're going to find out one way or another. Live vicariously through me. So I literally just tried to use this 2 nights ago to make a wig. And what I was going to say is that I think I broke it, but I think I just confirmed my own suspicion. This really shouldn't take you as long as it's been taking me. Like, this is technically day 4. I just have other shit to do. Anyway, right now we're taking our lining and our outside fabric, pinning them together, wrong sides together. We're not going to be doing any fancy flipping inside out with this project. So we're putting the wrong sides together and then just doing a straight stitch around all those raw edges. Yours is going to look slightly different to this just because I continued with my 1.5 centimeter seam allowance because I forgot to read the instructions. Always read the instructions. And I didn't want to undo it, so I'm just choosing to have my seam allowances seen outside of my bias binding. It's a style choice. But anyway, now it is time to add the skirt part, or at least cut the skirt parts out. This is the original skirt pattern because obviously it's just meant to be like a cute little hip accessory. I was going to try and extend that pattern because then I know that it's going to fit along these seams perfectly. But genuinely, because I want to make it like a full skirt almost, like a 3/4 pant, I think it might just be easier to make a full circle skirt pattern like a tiny bit too small for me, and then that way it like ends here. But I'm not, look,
Is that your stuff?
Yeah, and I don't think the binder is gonna work for the cupboard.
What size boxes did you order?
20 centimeters?
Are you sure?
Yeah.
They go on top of one of them.
Oh no. Oh no. Hey chat, I'm confused. So I've never used bias binding before, which, shocking, probably should have before this project. But correct me if I'm wrong, these folds are supposed to go to the center because you sew that along this seam line so that when you fold it over, it lines up correctly with your garment. So I sewed the front to the back. That's where we're at. So right now we're going to be connecting the sides and things, but we have to do the bias binding first so that we can get around the armhole. So basically what I'm going to do, I think it's about 5 mil difference from that inside bit. So I'm going to be pinning my bias tape 5 mil from the edge like this so that when I fold this over, it should line up. Will it? Who knows? But we're going to just mess around, see. And if it doesn't work, well, I'm not undoing it.
Many months later.
I have no idea what day it is. I don't even know what month it is. I'm barely keeping track of the year, if I'm being honest. But I've just pulled this bad boy out of the closet, and I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing next. I think I've got the hard parts out of the way. This is also what the skirt looks like. It's been in a drawer for a very long time. And I think I'm just gonna finish it and show you the results. Because let's be real, I haven't known what I've been on about the entire time. But let me at least talk you through it. All of the inside seams need to be done in this little edging shit, which if I can find that wherever that's gone would be great. Same with the skirt. So I'm going to do... I was setting up my desk and I just knocked an entire cup of sand off my desk. Oh, brother! Hi. We're about to attach the grommets, and you may have noticed there's no skirt portion attached to this corset. Why, you may ask? I've run out of bias tape, and I cannot justify spending more money, at least $16 more money, on something that has already cost me more than the original budget, and something that's taken me at least 4 months or however long this has taken. I can't do it. So this is just going to be a corset now. So we're going to attach the grommets. We're going to be done with it. Actually, I might paint some like cool designs or some shit on there. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling. So I've never actually used grommet pliers before, but it basically says cut a hole in the fabric and then punch it. So that's what we're going to do. I have already marked up the holes. Don't worry if you can't see them. I can barely see them either. And I think the cleanest... Oh my god. Okay, that was sharper than I thought. I was about to say the cleanest way I can see to do this is by cutting it with the blade, and evidently I was correct. Okay, so it says push the grommet through, make sure that there's no fabric overlapping it, and then just give it a good hearty fucking squeeze. Did that work? Oh my god! Finally fucking something good happened in this project. Okay, and then so I guess we keep going. I think this ended up turning out great. I think it turned out to be something wearable and something that I actually could piece together an outfit with. This isn't the type of shirt that I probably would wear. I'd wear more of like a peasant shirt. Oh, wait, hold on. The top here does kind of confuse me because it's not meant to be an underbust corset, but like... when you do make it an underbust corset, the back here sits flat, like this up here by the neck, and like it gives you support, but it is meant to sit like a normal corset, which is weird because then you get this little Hunchback of Notre Dame thing going on here. There is definitely alterations that I would make if I were to do it again. However, I'm not going to. With the amount of bias taping and things that you just have to do around the edging to make this corset look clean, it's just not worth it. I think sometimes I forget that I don't know how to sew. I'm doing everything on the fly. I'm learning as I go, and taking on something like this that has like a full skirt as well. So I give this project, I'm gonna say a 7 out of 10, purely because of how it ended up looking. But if I had to go on just making it alone, I wouldn't be doing this again. I'm saying like a 3. The bias binding is just too painful. Oh, also, I know the grommets look like they're fighting for their life over here, but they're actually pretty stable. Like, I don't feel like I'm gonna rip it. You know, sometimes you feel like you make it tight and then it feels like it's just gonna bust open. I'm actually very comfortable. I don't feel fragile. So even though there's a bit of rippling, like I could have added some boning in there to make it more stable, but like, who's doing that? Not me. Not this guy. But anyway, if you enjoy this type of video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe. I will be doing more sewing videos and more crafting videos going forward. Make sure you stick around for that. I will catch you in the next video, guys. Peace!